Picture an educator with incredible talent, deep subject knowledge, and the drive to teach thousands. Right now, on the internet, they are completely alone. Over 350,000 independent educators in India built their own branded mobile apps. They invested real money to launch them, yet fewer than 12% generate enough revenue to sustain themselves. To understand why, we have to look back to March 2020. Classrooms shut down, creating a captive audience of students stuck at home. During that window, if you had an app and decent content, you acquired students simply because there was nowhere else to go. App builder companies sold this temporary spike as a permanent reality. They offered total independence and direct ownership. But when schools reopened and students had choices again, the economics of running a solo app quietly collapsed. Personal apps effectively digitize the local neighborhood coaching center, keeping it just as invisible and isolated as it was before the internet. These platforms gave teachers a tool, but no way to actually scale. Once the captive pandemic audience vanished, student acquisition became a paid game. A single teacher with a tiny monthly budget had to bid for the exact same ad space as giant corporations spending hundreds of crores. To compensate for the lack of ad money, educators turn to organic reach. But social media algorithms reward entertainment, not deep instruction. Master chemistry teachers and history professors found themselves scripting fast 60-second dramatic reels just to capture fleeting attention. Then came the infrastructure bills. Payment gateway crashes, server scaling costs, digital rights management, and constant customer support tickets turned full-time teachers into unfunded, part-time software product managers. Every rupee spent on Instagram ads and every hour spent fixing a login error is a direct tax on the curriculum. It forces educators to choose between fixing their tech and preparing a better class. The problem is equally severe on the other side of the screen. Millions of students are actively searching for highly specific, specialized instruction, like a top-tier reasoning coach in Patna or a biology expert in Jaipur. But to assemble a complete curriculum, a student has to download a separate app for their math teacher, another for English, and a third for mock tests. Each app requires a new registration, a new verification text, and entering payment details into an unfamiliar system. In behavioral economics, this is known as a friction tax. Each mandatory technical step between the student's intent to learn and the actual enrollment drastically drops the probability that they will buy the course. So when an exceptional teacher sees low enrollment numbers on their personal app, they usually blame their own content. The reality is that the content is fine. The distribution infrastructure is broken. This leaves educators trapped between two bad options. Stay solo, keep your brand, but remain invisible. Or join a massive edtech conglomerate. Gain reach, but lose ownership of your students, your content, and your reputation. The alternative is a network effect. Think of a restaurant joining Zomato. They inherit a pre-installed user base. In a shared marketplace, demand pools together. A student buying chemistry organically discovers the physics teacher, and the entire ecosystem grows. By building hundreds of thousands of isolated apps, the industry fractured its own audience. The ability to teach 1 million people with the same effort as teaching one was lost in the fragmentation. AllCoaching functions as the underlying operating system for India's independent education economy. Much like how a computer's operating system handles memory and processing so software can run, this infrastructure invisibly manages the video hosting, the digital rights management, and the payment gateways. For the student, the friction disappears. They use a single, frictionless login to access a trusted environment where they can browse, compare, and enroll in classes across hundreds of subjects without switching apps. And because it operates as a marketplace, there is no fixed rent pricing out small teachers. The platform's revenue scales exactly in proportion to the educator's success. Crucially, the independent educator maintains complete control. Your profile is your own, the student relationships belong to you, and the reviews travel with you. The platform provides the stage, but the applause remains yours. Discovery is driven by intent. Students search by exam type, teaching style, or language. Because the marketplace sorts by course reviews and subject tags, rather than paid bids, a biology teacher in Kanpur can appear directly alongside a national conglomerate. This ecosystem removes the barrier of marketing budgets. It allows the most effective teachers to stop running exhausting startups and return to the classroom.